The Air Force is in an era of transformation. Douglas, hit it.
I have been struggling with this article, trying to come out with a summary, and I've highlighted a few sections. I'm going to do the best I can. So there's been a historic downturn in recruiting. We knew about that. They're concerned about China simultaneously succeeding but not doing so by stomping us into the dirt. There's a stability in the Air Force right now. They're hovering around 325,000 members, which is about half what they had during the Cold War, but it's been stable for a while. And they're talking about restructuring the Air Force to have fewer people in the lower ranks. Apparently, they've gotten middle heavy. There's a lot of non-coms. They're concerned that it's going to leave what's deficits in the lower ranks of people who actually get things done. And so they're looking at restructuring the promotion parameters and working on retention at the same time to come up with a force that more fits the needs of the current environment. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, go back up real quick. There's a quote there you just passed it about, can you communicate? Nope, scroll down.
Right there.
There. Yeah, can you communicate? Can you set a strategic plan? Can you make sure that your airmen are ready? That's the correct answer, right? So when we want to evaluate somebody, the correct answer is, are you good at your job? Are you good at helping others do your job? Can you lead people? And are you doing what it takes to educate them to also become leaders? Not, did you do the chili cook-off? Did you do the Christmas party? Put whatever. I mean, Gonky, this is an article that's specifically about enlisted, the evaluation system, but they even talk about how they had at one point towards the bottom, Doug, they talk about they tried a pilot only track where all you did was fly, and they said they only had 4 people go after it. And I am boggled that is correct. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand where that came from. Because for me, and I can't imagine anybody else, this must have been active duty where they were like,
well, they only told it to 4 people. So, I mean,
yeah, because like that is the biggest complaint, right? Yeah. Because to me, reluctant leadership, where you identify people that are good at it, but you're not really going after the people that are, that have to be leaders, that are doing all the stuff and checking all the boxes and stuff like that. Because sometimes those aren't the people you really want in positions of power. I think we need to do a better job of, there you go, right there. Just 2 people applied for the flying only track. It is unclear how widely airmen will embrace the idea. In 2018, the service tried a similar approach with mobility pilots that offered airmen the chance to spend their career in the cockpit or to transition into leadership roles. Just 2 people applied.
But I mean, I never heard about this program. Did you?
No.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Right. Exactly. So, it's like, well, we tried it. I'm like, well, it wasn't advertised.
So, yeah. It's like I announced it on this channel and only 2 people applied. Well, yeah, right. Because you're in your echo chamber.
Pretty much.
We've talked about this a lot. Thanks, Doug. We can take that.
Well, down, dude, and other services, man, like in England, I believe they just have like flight lieutenants. That's all they do. They fly. They don't promote. They don't do the leadership track. They just literally do a career of flying. And my understanding.
Warrant officers. I mean, the Army's does the warrant officer. Where that's pretty much all they do, and the officers do whatever. My argument is not that you need a one or the other track. My argument is that the entire the leadership, the generic leadership assessment is flawed. The fact that a pilot is compared to somebody in a different career field, or, and it's not fair for anybody, not just the pilot, but it's not fair for, a security forces guy to be compared to a C-17 guy. It's not fair for a logistics readiness officer to be compared to somebody in medical. which depends on what part of medical. But my point being is that we've tried this one size fits all because, everybody's on the list and, we all have to check the boxes and stuff. But I think that is what has made it so difficult to retain people because, the perfect example, JPME, Joint Professional Military Education, and a master's degree, right? They go back and forth about, well, you need a master's degree, you don't need a master's degree or whatever. Who cares? A master's degree in basket weaving, just like your undergraduate degree in basket weaving, has zero to do at this point in your profession with that. It is just a discriminator when it should be a metric of and maybe AI can fix this. I mean, maybe AI would eventually be good enough to screen people and actually get indicators of leadership, because right now we do a terrible job of it. We just look at, you go to the board, we go, well, did he get a stratification? He was number one of whatever. Did he get a definite promote over a promote? Like, in what universe is a promote not a promote? Oh no, it's got to be a definite promote. Like, we have these little games we play for promotion, and then we wonder why the people that get promoted are the ones that play games. Newsflash.
Well, during wartime when it really matters, right? Promotions are based on performance, right? So
Right.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, during periods of extended peace, that test isn't available. So, what starts to happen? All the stuff you just mentioned. I mean, I remember in Chuck Yeager's book, like he'd already broken the sound barrier. He was the man, and the Air Force is like, you can't continue as a test pilot unless you get a degree. And he's like, what? He's like, I'm Chuck Yeager, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, probably just got us canceled, but he is a famous. Sorry, dang it. He's a famous fighter pilot. I know, fighter pilot and World War II combat ace. YouTube. Sorry. Dang it. It's a good story though.
It is, but I mean, I don't know the answer. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know the answer. My point being is that
I'm not going to tell you I'm a leader either. I don't know the answer.
Right. Well, I'm just saying that if you want leaders of men, gender neutral, you have to identify leadership traits better than you do. And a lot of that becomes from the humble, credible, approachable. You want to find somebody that you want to follow in the battle. The old Spartan, what is your profession? Somebody that can rile up the troops and that they want to follow through the gates of hell, not somebody that spent their off time writing papers.
Yeah, well, do you mind? The best leaders I ever had were not only were they competent in the airplane, but they did what they thought was right with conviction, and they didn't care about their career.
Exactly. They were the kind of people that took care of their troops, airmen, sailors, whatever, because if you don't take care of your people, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
I mean, so that, to me, that's they're never going to crack this nut as long as they're trying to figure out various ways of, well, if we strat this thing and check this box, as long as we're trying to figure out within the same construct, it's never going to get better, because all we're doing is we're circular. We're just continuing to go, well, okay, well, his EPR or his OPR was bad here. No matter what anybody says, and I will be the test case for this, it is a one mistake Air Force. They will say it's not, but it is a one mistake Air Force. Even if it's not a mistake, it is a one action or inaction can ruin your career, and there's no recovery.
Well, dude, we used to say in the Navy, like 10 years ago, I was actually, we were like, this zero tolerance nonsense, it's got to go. I mean, it's people make mistakes. Like, you can't, it's,
Anyway, thanks, Doug.
No.
Connor says the chili cook-off winners are fuming right now. That is funny, dude.
That is funny.
That is funny.
And I'll eat some chili too, but yeah.
T. Wolf Jaeger says, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Oh boy, as an expediter for 6 different fighter mission design series, this hits close to home. We promote people who check all the boxes, not people who take care of the day-to-day. Thanks for addressing it. And dude, I hate that it feels like I get on the soapbox every time we talk about this, but I cannot emphasize, because you've heard of the Dear Boss letters where, some captain or whatever will write here's why I quit, kind of thing. I don't want to go to that point. Like, I think that everything is fixable and everything can get better. It's just, you have to have leaders. You have to have leaders, not management. And as long as you have management that are afraid of their career and afraid of rocking the boat, and all they want to do is make changes just for the sake of change, just to pad their resumes, leaders don't change things that work. Right? Is that a fair statement? Like, if a leader goes, hey dude, it's not the way
time for green boots.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's change the PT uniform. Like, who cares? Is this one work? I mean, are we changing it for the better, or are we just changing it for reasons?
What is our actual mission here, and are we working on that?
Right. People first, mission always, or mission first, people always, whichever way you want to do it. But if you're taking care of your people, that's what a leader does, in my opinion. A leader is somebody who makes it easier for the people that actually do the work to get their jobs done. That's it. They are, like the XO, the heads in beds, they're trying to make sure the mission happens by allowing people to do their jobs, by removing roadblocks and getting out of their way. You don't need to lead with an iron fist. You don't need to, happy cows make happy milk, man. You cannot just change things and make it harder. And, we got to arbitrarily do these things and then expect people to, number one, work hard for you because they'll do the bare minimum, and 2, stick around.
Right.
Hey, let's circle back to the first thing. We're in a retention problem. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
These policies have created this.
Yeah. I mean, you could say, hey, you want to see the problem, just look in the mirror, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
take care of your people, man. That's all you. I mean, take care of people. Plexi says, what fighter pilot in his right mind is not going to choose the fly only track? You mean I have to focus on flying? What am I missing here?
Well, yeah, it's so funny, Plexi, because we spent, at least in active duty, it's like, oh man, my next set of orders, how do I finagle this to where I can keep flying? But I got to get the check in the box. I got to go do this thing. I mean, of course, man. You want to say that's the whole reason why we joined.
100%.
Well, serve your country, but that's the job we wanted to do for our country.
Rick says, talk about a great recruiting tool in North Carolina, Cherry Point, the air show, May 11th through 12th, 2024. Awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Air shows are good. Cynthia says, hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. 100%. And we are right in the weak men make hard times phase.
Yep.
You got to have a backbone. You got to have, stand for something or you'll fall for anything. I was thinking about that earlier, Gonky. I respect you for that. You definitely walk the walk, especially in the last 2 years when I was thinking about how we flipped the script, how, there was a time when you were the one that was having to go to the Thai restaurant because they wouldn't let you on base. And, and suddenly we flipped that script and now you're my boss.
Right.
And I'm the bastard child. So it works, man. It works.